Uh, my philosophy on photography is when you're looking for the shot, whether it's something that's static or something that's moving, you're in a way you're hunting for the perfect shot, hunting for the everything to come together in the frame in the correct manner, and then you snap the shot. But the problem is that oftentimes you see this happening in front of you and you're afraid, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. You keep setting up, keep setting up. And this fear, this sort of overthinking, often it will seep into your everyday thoughts. The thing is, whenever you go out to take pictures, you can't just go for the things that you're looking for. You have to just be open to what you're going to see. And that's sort of what you're hunting, is that thing that's going to come out at you and jump out at you, and you can catch it. When I'm out, especially doing street photography in the city, or usually in the city, any city, there's always so much going on. So you have to be sort of hyper aware of what's going on. And I used to use music, but I realized that that's not really, although it will give you a mood of what you're taking pictures of. If you're listening to jazz music, you'll start to get a feel for the rhythms of the city in a sort of jazz way, or you'll catch things that might have that look to it. Or if you're listening to dance music, or if you're listening to classical, you'll get a different feel for what you're looking at. But I feel like there are often times when you're, if you don't listen to music, if you don't wear headphones, you'll hear a lot more of what's going on. You'll hear stuff behind you. You'll feel the whole city, the whole thing, the energy, what's going on. And oftentimes you can just stand in one spot and just click here, click there, click here, because things will be moving into the frame. Things will be composing in the frame for you. And that is probably the best. And once you start getting the few shots, you're now sort of hyper aware. You're like in a zone, where you're hyper aware of every single thing now. You just have to make sure not to get hit by a bus, because there are times when you're not noticing actual surroundings or people around you. You're seeing things in frames, or at least I am. I like taking pictures of people and objects, both. I like the interaction of both. But I feel like in the end, there's more energy to a picture with people in it. And also the viewer is going to relate a lot quicker in some way, whether it be something that will trigger a memory, or will look very familiar to them and what they've done or seen, than just a straight up object, or building or something like that, which is a lot easier to photograph because it doesn't move, just sits there, but it doesn't have the same energy to it. I've found recently that there were a lot of photographers of the past, of course, that I'm influenced by or that I am inspired by. A lot of that is the French photographers of the 40s and 50s, Robert Doisneau, or of course everyone says Bresson. Those sorts of photographers. There's also there's some American photographers, the same sort of idea in the 50s and 60s. But what's interesting is I just realized not too long ago that there are other things that uh, influence me visually that do get applied to photography. And one of the things is the work of the artist Bemelmans. He's the guy who created he's most famous for creating the Madeline artwork. But a lot of that artwork is really cool if you look at it, especially the stuff he did in New York and things like that. And it has this aura, this feel, this mood that is very city because it's all New York, and oftentimes not consciously, but I think subconsciously there's it influences me in terms of what I'm trying to get in photography, along with all the other great photographers, and of course my family's work too. So there's a lot going on up there, but um, the photos that my father and my grandfather have taken, a lot of them are news oriented. So they're what makes it a great photo is slightly different than what would make my photographs really good. But essentially, I think what makes the good photo is if it engages the viewer. So I mean, I guess it's slightly different, but not that much different because they do engage the viewer. There are a few photos of theirs. One that my grandfather took, which was well known, was of the tornado in Oak Lawn, which he happened to catch when he was out at a grocery store. He saw the tornado. He took 2 shots. It was quite close to him, and then he sold it to newspaper. He didn't think it was much, actually. He didn't want to get rid of it or show it to anybody. But my father made him show it to the papers downtown. They then put it out, and it was given the line, the portrait of a killer. My father's pictures, it's interesting too when you look at the different styles. For instance, because my grandfather's styles or his photos took place mostly in the 30s and 40s and 50s, where you would take pictures kind of far back. You didn't have a whole lot of zoom. Where my father's photos are from the 60s and 70s, where close-ups were much more in vogue at the time, and you can see that in all sorts of photography and even movies. My pictures, I think my best ones are when everything comes together and gives a scene, a sort of timeless scene, which would be nice. Once I realized I was going to be doing more photography, there was a through line, and the through line was not only us, the three generations taking pictures, slightly different because they were photojournalists on the whole, and I don't really do that very often. But the through line also was the city of Chicago and the surrounding suburbs, and has seen through the three generations, really. So there are times when, for instance, we covered a lot of the same ground, and then, of course, we've covered it from the 30s until today. So that's part of what I like doing with taking the photos, is that it adds to this larger body of work, really, that gives the look not only of the city and the surrounding and other places as well, but of our family. It gives a whole sort of rounded look to our view of things. I think, for the most part, street photography is what I love to do, but I do find architectural photography. Um, I find that really rewarding, as well as even nature photography, which I like to do when I'm not taking pictures. So Yeah, I like taking pictures of anything really, but it is the most fun to go out there and to be a part of the energy of the city and to try and harness a little of it, catch a little of it in the frame. I would say there's quite a few that I think I like because it was what I was trying to catch. So some people might see it and be not that, be underwhelmed by it. But I'm happy with it because that's what I saw and it came together and I was able to get it. I have quite a few actually that I'm happy with because they're all different forms of what I was trying to do. So I really enjoy the picture I took of the girl underneath the fountain, the crown fountain. I like silhouette pictures a lot. If I can capture silhouettes, I do enjoy doing that because it's sort of timeless and anonymous, and the shadow gives it a bit of a mystery. I do like that picture a lot, but there are many others that I like that I have taken so far. But I'm always looking for the next one. That'll be the best one. Yeah, I enjoy rural places just as much as city places. It's just you just change gears, so you just look for different things. But I think you're still looking for the same thing, but it's just it will be a different type of thing. So instead of looking for the way that a person interacts with the buildings around them, you're now sort of looking at the one tree and how the grasses or the the fence or the things around it are interacting with that tree. So it's at least that's how I see things. So when I'm in a place where it looks like there's nothing to take a picture of, but of course there is if you really look close enough, then I just switch gears and you start to see things. You see maybe broader things, colors, lines, and trying to capture that place, whatever that place is, the same way you would capture a place that was bustling and buzzing. Well, I think I would like my work to be remembered as, I think, first capturing aspects of Chicago and the Chicago area throughout time and also in many different layers, whether it be the people, the architecture, the way they all interact, the nature, and how that interacts as well, and just making interesting stories in the frame that hopefully can be timeless in some way.